turn.
Sure.
Resume CPR.
Okay.
The town of Sundre is the only small rural community in Alberta with a permanent eSIM simulation training center.
So to have it right here in our own community is such an advantage.
You don't have to travel, you don't have to go to the city. And
It's going to be a phenomenal training area.
There wasn't enough room at the Myron Thompson Health Centre to build a training centre for health professionals. So Alberta Health Services, the town of Sundre, and Sundre Hospital Futures joined forces to make it happen here, next to the Sundre Fire Hall. Since rural healthcare professionals often work to full scope of practice, there was an urgent need for ongoing training that was specialized to rural practice and didn't require travel to a larger center.
an RN in the morning might go from something to do with an emergency obstetrics to a heart condition in the ER, to something in palliative care, to something in long-term care. Each one of those activities requires continuous training.
That's a lot of the stoppers of our newly graduated resident doctors, is that they feel overwhelmed in the rural. We can provide all the advanced life support, all the advanced trauma care courses, so they can feel really confident when they're in that emergency room.
To have the equipment and space here available all the time is the game changer, because now these simulations can be done on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis.
When they know that those training opportunities are right here in this town, I think that's going to help us with our recruitment and retention as well.
Many organizations pitched in to make the eSIM lab a reality. The town of Sundre provided the space. Sundre Hospital Futures funded construction. The University of Calgary Cummings School of Medicine provided a $30,000 grant toward the mannequins. The provincial government donated desks and chairs. Paraday Energy contributed $5,000 that was used to purchase TV screens and computer equipment. Alberta Health Services eSIM team provided guidance on what equipment was needed, helped with setup, provided simulations, and one other important item.
We have a loaner mannequin from the eSIM program, which is fairly advanced, definitely on the higher fidelity side of the spectrum with simulation equipment.
High fidelity means more lifelike. Mannequins that can breathe, talk, blink, can raise their heart rates, slow them down, block their airways, ideal for simulating actual emergency room patients. The eSIM lab also has pediatric, baby, and CPR mannequins. Simulations can be done for any scenario that might come through the emergency room doors. From medically ill patients who need resuscitation to others who suffered major trauma and need to be stabilized before transport to a larger hospital.
Because we don't see those types of events as often, it's very important to practice those skills routinely so that you get comfortable with the actual skills that you're doing and you get comfortable working with the team members.
It's one thing to go and learn something somewhere else, but it's so important to work with your team, because when you practice it in your team environment, you get to know your colleagues really well. You get to know what their skill sets are, what their strengths are, what their areas for growth are.
You can't have any chest pain.
So a definite confidence builder in the education area for all staff.
We all want to be part of high-functioning teams that are performing at world-class standards.
The training center will be available for use by the fire department and other town employees for things like CPR training and first aid. It will also be available to community groups and other organizations in the region. The dream is that it will become a destination training center for rural health.
That is our goal, is to make this like a rural education site where people will come and take training.
We're all clear? Shocking. Shock delivered.
Let's resume CPR.
Sundre Hospital Futures aims to raise $250,000 for the eSIM lab to replace the loaner mannequin with their own and make other upgrades so that this eSIM lab is on par with any other in the province.